Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is KarQ. Welcome to the KarKives, where I post the VODs of the coaching on this channel from my Twitch stream. If you guys want coaching, make sure to come to my stream at twitch.tv/KarQ. And for 50,000 stream loyalty points, you can redeem gameplay review and I'll watch a replay and give you some pointers and have it posted on this channel. Today, September 2nd, 2020, we're going to be watching some Mercy gameplay submitted by Sylvald. Sylvald, thank you. And by the way, in order to get loyalty points, you just have to sit and watch the stream, tolerate me for X amount of time, build up enough loyalty points, and purchase it. If you're subscribed, you get points at a faster rate, but that is totally optional. Okay, Sylvald on the Mercy. So at the time of recording and watching this, I don't know what rank this is. So let's see what we got here. I think this is PC. Looks like PC. Why is there a lot of Mercy spam? Shut up, Bender. Okay. Let's see your comps here.
4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
We have a Widowmaker, Ashe, Zen, Zarya Hog. This is this current patch. By the way, this is September. This is probably a game played within the last week or two. Late August, September. When you're watching this in the future on the KarKives, this is when Hog and Zarya were meta. Remember these dark times. This is a dark timeline. Season 23. Enemy team running Sigma, Hog, Anif, Mercy, Farah, McCree. Okay. First off, I know you're damage boosting this Widow. I'm not gonna lie. I've always felt that damage boosting a Widow's kind of trash, especially if you have an Ashe on your team. Like, if a Widow's gonna headshot, she's probably gonna kill them anyways, because instinctively they probably build up over 60% charge for the one shot regardless. I think you're actually better off staying with your Ashe early on, because if Widow's your only sniper, sure, you stay with them in the sniper duels and you res them if they lose it. But this Widow's sitting in spawn right now, so the first thing I would do is probably go away from this Widow and just come with your Ashe right away to see if you can get an early dynamite instead of playing off with her. That's number one. You try to keep with both, but realistically, you only need to jump to your Widow if she dies, or you know, if she's dueling an enemy Widow. If not, like, you should probably stay on the Ashe more. I've seen. Okay, based off of the bat, the movement's already pretty good. You can already tell this is like the minute you fly to someone, you're trying to cut sight line. So that's already a good start. I like it. Like, she's low, so obviously you should try to fly to her. Nice super jump. Ooh. Okay, chat. We don't know what rank this is yet, but this is already looking pretty good. Good movement, good motion so far. Switching between targets. I like it. Almost have your ultimate. Like, people always say, Mercy's no skill, but you can immediately tell just based on the movement. Like, right there, like a short GA just like that is already, like, really good. This is what, like, lower rank Mercies might not think about, right? That was a good super jump. Like, right here, it's like, oh, I want to move a little closer, but I don't want to, like, fly past them. So they, like, half GA and they just stopped right there to make sure they don't cross too far. Like, little things like that go a long way. And again, the same visual with, like, motion in between downtime is very important. So good. I like the damage boost on the Ashe more than anything here. This is good. Try to help her, enable her. Okay, so right there, I would... same thing as I said in the Anivod review just before. Actually, whoever's watching this on YouTube won't know what I said. This is a brand new video on YouTube. So every time, especially on Mercy, but for all supports, but more importantly on Mercy, is that every time your GAs, like, you fly to somebody, just make sure you're breaking line of sight when necessary. Like, there's no need to stand here. You just took damage for no reason against that Farah. Like, if you're gonna hide here and you're gonna pocket them, you just cut sight lines and just, like, chill here and just stay tethered. Now, there will always come a time and place where, like, the really advanced Mercies this is a neutral fight because it's a 6 versus 6. But if you have clear, like, an advantage, there's, like, advanced Mercy stuff where, like, you can actually deliberately fly in their line of sight to distract them and draw some attention as long as you know you're safe. But that's, like, risk management and stuff like that. And that's, like, some shit you'd probably only consider once you make it past 4K. You can totally make it to the Grandmaster by, like, playing really passive on Mercy, but just playing smart. But there's a way to excel later on, which is to throw yourself kind of into the enemy, but not dying. But we'll talk on that if I ever review a Mercy that's, like, above 4K. But So I know they're kind of dead up there. All right, go for the res. Nice. Show us your mercy tech. Good falling res. I know some mercy tech. I know how to do mercy tech. Super jump res. I actually know a really cool tech that you guys might not know about. I'll show you guys after. Okay, so you're pocketing the Ash. Honestly, so far so good. Like you move up a little bit. Okay, switch targets, a little super jump to the high ground. Nothing to note so far. Like besides that one part where like you're kind of exposed, like pretty clean so far. Your team's kind of rolling right now, so it's kind of hard to pick out anything particularly wrong. You're staying out of line of sight. Moving up here so you're able to res in case they die, but at least you're on high ground. All right, the pocket. Be careful of this Pharah. Just keep sidestepping, keep strafing. I probably would have strafed more. Just because like if they're looking at me like this, I mean, it's tough. Like I'm actually pretty okay with you not popping Valkyrie here just because there's only like 3 or 4 of you up. Your payload is still there. And like it'd probably be more valuable to hold on to it and like wait until the clash comes before you fight, because half a team isn't even here yet. Although you could argue you could Valk here and just keep the pressure up and hold the enemies here and just let your Zen solo cap. But that's situational. But I was gonna say right here, I probably would have like done some strafing right here. Like the minute I know a Pharah or an enemy is looking at me, my strafing pattern changes. I'd actually hard commit one side and go the other way until the next GA's up. But I felt like you were kind of walking in one direction, like the band. But that's all right. You ended up not getting focused, so you're fine. All right, they rezzed. How many people do you have alive? I probably pop Valk here actually. Oh, a super jump res. That's a nice tech. At the end of the day, you didn't need it, but honestly, even if you did pop Valk, it wouldn't have been bad per se. But that was like, it's good that you didn't because you didn't need to. But just be careful of not getting burned in the future, where like you're hesitating and thinking about not doing it, and then like you end up losing the team fight. Oh, you saw trans, you didn't? Oh my god, yeah, it's the fucking red. Oh, I thought the enemy used transcendence. I just got thrown off here. I was like, wait, there's so many things going on. The enemy just popped trans. I would have. Okay, never mind. You're on red. Holy fuck. Yeah, okay. Your Zenyatta popped the transcendence. That's fine. I actually thought it was the enemies, and I was so confused because I heard your Zarya grab based on the voice line, but your Zarya grabbed and your Zen tranced in it. Okay, never mind. I thought that was the enemy's response to your Zarya's grab. Fuck, I'm stupid. All right, good job. You didn't use it. So that tech here is good. Like this is more of me like saying this is good rather than things that I'm pointing out that are bad. So this is a good tech for those who are watching this to learn. Where here, let me show you what Sylvald did here. This is clean. Super jump res. So instead of a lot of regular mercies here who are watching this will probably just be like, oh, let me just fly here and just and then lift them up into the sky. But you see what Sylvald did here? Let me show you. Watch this shit. You do the little mini super jump where you fly up. You start the res on the way up. And then it finishes on the way down. Yes, they're kind of still moving linearly, but they're still moving, which inherently will always be better than just being a complete standing duck. Even if you didn't intend to do it, this is a very good tech to do. It's not quite a full super jump. You kind of have to learn how to half super jump by doing it, by GAing and then doing the little half bounce, start the res, and then you let go of the jump, and then you finish the res on the way down. I mentioned it in the video today in the workshop video, where you can use Neandra's mode to practice it. I actually think this is really good, and this can actually separate the bad between the good mercies if you can consistently learn how to pull it off. Here, let me just do this. In my recent workshop video that was released today, how much smaller your EMP range is if you translocate too high. EMP is shaped like a sphere. Right here. You can kill all the Mercy body on the way up, your ultimate ability, and then practice your super jump rezzes so that you start the res ability on the way up and you complete it on the way down. This way, you're always in motion during the res as opposed to being a sitting duck. This is a bit more of an advanced tech since you kind of need to learn how to half super jump because the standard super jump would see, like, I did a regular super jump there, but then I went too high and I broke my own res. You have to be careful. If you go too high, you break the tether and you fuck it up. So this is like, but that is something to like add to your Mercy arsenal. If you already feel like you've capped out on what you can do. This is cool shit you can do.
This is not the end.
Anyways, so far so good, Sylvald. Not much to say. Like, been very clean. Got the Mercy super tech, super jump stuff down with the super jump res. Even though if you said it was an accident, at least it's a good start. It's hard to learn, but the only way to learn is to get better. Get practicing in those workshop modes. Okay, so you're just playing aggressive here. Honestly, with the way the payload is here, I probably would have popped Valk by now. Just because you keep the pressure up, momentum up, make it so your team wins more confidently. They only have 3 people alive. You're probably going to win anyways, but if they pop Valkyrie, you just mirror their Valkyrie right there. I say fuck it. The payload's literally here. It's going to end in like 5 more seconds. Just secure it. You know how heartbreaking it is where like you're just about to win and they actually end up capping? Okay, thank God you finished it. But eventually you're gonna have those games where everything feels good, you're cushy, oh yeah, we're up 6v3, it's fine. And then they end up fucking retaking and restabilizing. It would break my heart. It breaks my heart every time that should happen and I'm like, I should have just used my nano, or we should have just ulted, man.
Initiating match.
Warfools, thank you for the 5 months, by the way. I really appreciate the resub. Thank you. That's why you kept the Valk in case they recontested. But at the same time, like, it was actually at the point and you guys got 1 or 2 kills on the kill feed. I would have just mirrored their Valkyrie because they had a Valk up to upkeep their team. So you matched that. Mirroring, if you have a mirror matchup, half the time, if they use it, you should most likely respond to it. Like when I play Ana and they nano their person, I'm like, I gotta nano mine now. Or else they're just gonna keep pressing that sort of advantage. They popped their Valkyrie there, especially because that Mercy knew like the fight was, the round was gonna end if she didn't do it. So then you just match it so it neutralizes that advantage. So your team can still keep that like 5v3 or whatever you had, 6v3. Because it's a 6v3 and that Mercy pop Valk, which like kind of like evens the battlefield a bit. Then you pop your Valk and then you push that advantage back into your favor. If that makes any sense. You tend to do that with coalescence when you're even? Exactly. That's what you try to do in general.
Just like in training. Visualize, then execute.
Okay. Wait, let me check the Among Us group. Are they starting soon?
I'll be busy soon enough. Greetings. Hello.
All right.
Hello.
5, 4, 3,
Bitte.
2,
You're
1.
welcome.
Attackers incoming.
Damage and
Defend objective A.
Okay. Heal this Widow. You know there's a Pharah threat. Hopefully your Widow has a presence of mind to reposition. I would stay to your Ashe so you boost the Dynamite over boosting that Widow. I think boosting your Ashe's Dynamite would actually be so much more valuable here. That Ashe got a pretty big Dynamite. She actually might be at like 40% of Dynamite if you boosted her instead. Risky res. Yes, you can make it out. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, you try to jump off of that. You healed it a little bit, but I probably wouldn't have flown back in like that. I think... Okay, right here was good. You jump to your Ana. I think this is where you go for the res here. Alright. Risky, but you pulled it off. You got out safely. Topped her off a little bit, but you know that Ana is safe from any threats because she backed off. So this is where Honestly, if I were you, you attach the beam, and the beam will stay attached to your teammate for like 3 seconds, even if you break line of sight, right? Or you break range. So I think the fact that you had the beam on, this Roadhog was bubbled and he just took a breather. I think you just stay here, cutting this wall to cut the Zen sightline and this Pharah sightline, because she's busy shooting your tanks. You don't want to add to the AoE splash of the rocket. You already have your beam attached. You could like do a little jiggle back here, and if the beam detaches, then like, you know, you have to have a feel for Mercy's beam range. Like I think here might be the max range before it's considered like it's gonna break in 1.5, 2, or whatever the tether time is. But I probably would have held to this corner, kept the beam on, and just jiggled instead of like flying into the hotel, because I know the idea there to break line of sight, to hide into the hotel, is half correct, but the problem with that is this is enemies like space and zone that they've already controlled. Since both their off tanks control here, you lost your tanks, and then their DPS is controlling this area. So entering this area is like inherently worse, even though it's covering sight lines, than just staying here, because you're already covering sight lines here for the most part, but you can keep your beam on them. So I don't think you should have flown in there. Yeah, because you just got hit by one rocket. Your Ana healed you, but then you took a heal away from your tank. If that makes any sense. Like you got hit by a splash for 110, and then the Ana had to take one shot away from these tanks to give a shot into you. Now she has to worry about an extra person, which is you, instead of just like hard pocketing these tanks to keep them alive a little longer. One less heal away from this guy, the Zarya or Hog, might have been the difference. I mean, you probably would have lost anyway, since you lost like I think you're somebody else early on, but it's just food for thought. Just get into those just things to consider, the effects that everything has. Like I knew in the hotel they were focused on my tank, so you thought you were safe, but that's what I mean. Like inherently that zone was already controlled by the enemy, especially with the numbers advantage. So
Objective lost.
like I mean, it's like half right depending on the context of the situation, but like it's right in a different situation. Nice. That's tough. You might be able to res that after flying back in. You're kind of just chilling. Tough. Oh, you might be able to pistol her. I might have pistoled that Pharah, but it's fine that you didn't. I know you got scared. That's okay. It was just like, oh shit, she's actually peeking me with that low HP. You didn't like reactively do it in time. Probably should have in hindsight, but like I know why you did. All right. Nice. You're trying to super jump away. Okay, big. She's gonna die anyways. Wait for them to retreat a bit, then you fly. Good. Okay, see, like I like that. You're flying there, but you're cutting sight lines. Okay, you pop the Valk, stay out of that. Nice. Oh my god, I was about to say that was absolutely ballsy as fuck, because inherently your team had to retreat after that grab. I don't know if you were in comms with your Zarya. I would only go for this if you call it for your Zarya to bubble you. This guy, if you go for this res while this dude's whole hogging, like he hooked you, but he could have blasted you away. Yeah, you're just like, you're just solo in front, going for the solo res. I know like when you're in Valk, it's like you're pretty tanky and like you can kind of move a little bit because you have higher movement speed, so you're kind of floating up while doing it. I think that's fine if your teammates were playing in a different spot, but since you had to fly in front of 3 enemy members, then that res was risky and you had it canceled. The only way this is possible if your Zarya and Hanzo retreated is if you called for a bubble. That's like the only thing. Oh, you thought the dragon would be a mask? Yeah. No, because like the dragon was this way and then like the enemy team just like walked to the left and they just had a clear cut thing. I can see like why. I like how you like I like your thought process though. You're explaining why you thought it would be a good res, and I can see like where it's coming from. You thought the dragon would protect you earlier with the hotel thing, that example. I actually think your thinking is actually totally in the right direction. The dragon if the dragon direction was actually different, that probably would have masked you a little bit more, but the whole hog was ending and the stuns are still kind of easy to hit. It's still pretty punishable at high ranks. I think calling for a bubble would still be the best play if you wanted to go for that res, or just conceding the fight completely, because I think you guys just lose this. Alright, GA cancel, cross to the side. Yeah, not much you can really do here. You kind of just have to chill here on the side. You can't. You guys are kind of at a numbers disadvantage because they're pressuring the doors, and the thing that's why, like, sometimes it feels a little helpless when you play Mercy, because you kind of are at the mercy of your teammates and what they do, since you're such an enabler. But if your team is kind of on the back foot, it just feels really helpless sometimes, you know? You're like, oh my god, I'm just chilling here trying to heal, but my team is just getting spammed out. High noon coming in. You got to cut that LOS. Yeah, the only thing to like make space is to whip out your pistol, but even in this context, it's not even appropriate to whip out your pistol and play aggressive. Your team just kind of got owned here. Honestly, don't know what else you could have done. You're just cutting line of sight and doing your best to heal your team, but you're actually at the mercy of your team here in this specific situation. That's tough. That's tough. You're tired, but you're not leaving until you take the water you redeem. Sorry about that. Yeah. But honestly, so far your Mercy gameplay is actually some of the best I've seen. If this is not Diamond, it's probably Masters. And if you're not even in either of those ranks, then I probably need to watch a different set of gameplay to kind of figure out like what's going on. Because based off this alone, obviously this is just one game. Maybe this is a really good pop-off game. If you play like this consistently, I don't see why you wouldn't be at least Masters.
You should be at peak performance level.
No one can hide from my sight.
Damage increase.
Alright, kind of like just moving around there. Lots of good tech, lots of good cancels. Careful, you saw the Widow through the wall there because your Widow as well as... Or sorry, you saw their Pharah above you. So you're trying to cut sight lines here by the hotel. Be careful flying up here, just commit to one. Okay, yeah, flying around, pocket them. Your Zarya just killed their Zarya. Ooh. This is where I'd actually consider popping Valkyrie here. Dude, it's a 5v5. It's 30 seconds. Okay, at least you popped it here. They got two. Now, I actually I was really thinking about just popping it earlier here.
I'm being attacked. Damage boost engaged.
Right here, when their Widow tried to go for your Ashe, and your tanks seem to be killing their tanks here, this is where you just want to press your advantage and make sure these two die. Because these two are just owning your backline. Like, you want to heal her, but then these guys, just do it for the flight here.
30 seconds remaining.
Nice super jump, though. That's tough to go for the Reds because they have Coalescence there. Damage boost this right now because they're kind of full. Never mind, she's low. I saw her health. I was about to say damage boost after the grab, but then she started getting ripped apart. Like, she's the only one alive. Yeah, you gotta reset here. Next fight.
Objective lost.
Right on.
Stop the payload.
Okay, we'll watch this one last team fight. Nice kill. Go to the Ashe. I wouldn't even play with this Widow. I would actually go to your Ashe right now. She's gonna get stuck. She's gonna get ditched right. She's alone. You need to go to this Ashe. If you fly up here with the Widow, go for the Ashe. Help your Ashe. Oh shit. Okay, she's running. Okay, as long as she made it out. But like, let's just say if you're with that Ashe earlier, she might not have had to leave as early, and then she could have held this angle and really pressured the enemy team back here. Which is why I think if you were there earlier, it might have actually changed this push here. Boosted Dynamite, off angling Ashe, getting closer to her Bob. If you're with her, maybe she'd be at like 90% to Bob here. Hitting that Bob for this final fight, playing this angle when they can't deal with two of them would probably be way better than just staying attached to a Widow, who can probably just one-shot if she headshots anyways. But that's a bit tough. Oh man, yeah, that's tough. But that's like the thing about like playing on this angle with this Widow. Like you end up retreating with them on this. I think this is the wrong sniper to play with, because now you're gonna get stuck on your own. That was unlucky though. Unfortunate. Where's your Ashe? Is your Ashe dead right now? Am I blind? Oh, she dropped. Yeah, she has to play straight away, and then she got caught in the grab too. That's what I mean. Just like a small decision of like deciding who to play with in certain team fights can change the tide, especially on a hero like Mercy, where I think that the synergy with Ashe is much better than with Widow. I think, yeah. I still think this angle might have changed like this overtime push, and he might have cut it off here because she would have had Bob. She wouldn't have been caught in the grab. Neither would you have. Yeah, that's tough. Overall, though, wait, let me check for Among Us. How many people are in their lobby? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I'm joining them after this. But overall, this Mercy gameplay was really, really solid. I think chat agrees that this probably was way too much, really good Mercy tech. You've got the super jumps, you've got the half super jump rezzes down, you've got the GA cancels, you know how to cancel it and stay behind line of sight. Your instincts are correct. You're going for rezzes where like I like your thought process where like I'm gonna use this as a mask and you know go for the res here. Some of them are a bit more riskier than others. I think maybe there's times where you held your Valkyrie a little too much. The most important thing was the ultimate economy context where you matched their Valkyrie, or there's moments where if you used it and getting that global team damage boost, it's like a freaking Orisa supercharger. It's really good when you have Valk and your teammates don't have any ultimates, and then you use that global beam damage boost to enhance the rate they build their ultimates to give them that sort of advantage. And like your Ashe didn't have Bob, and like maybe if like you were a bit more your decision to switch on the different sniper and damage boost them at different times would have enabled this Ashe to build the Bob faster. And that's all Mercy. That's why Mercy can like stand the test of time for skill. We talked about it in Jake and SVB's podcast where he's saying Mercy kind of like elevates with other DPSs with time because she's kind of like a leech in that sense. And like these are the things like other than the tech, which you've already like seem to have mastered, like these are the things that'll probably separate you from climbing even more, is that like literally that small decision to decide who to pocket and the angles that you hold. And just because you chose not to go to this target and pocket this Ashe, you lost this sight line in this angle. And then in context, you know, the butterfly effect, they got caught in the grab, you got caught in the grab because you were in this spot instead of up there. You know, they didn't have anything to worry about up here because their Ashe left because she was low, so they're like they get to walk under here for free without much pressure. But if you were there and she's damage boosted and healed the whole time, then they're just like fuck, then they have to have two people look at this Ashe, which makes the front line on your team here easier to deal with because the enemy sight lines or the enemy isn't focused on the tanks here, they're focused on like staying alive from this Ashe who you're pocketing to dynamite them. So it's like it's all like one thing leads to another. One thing leads to another all the time, and it's just crazy how much of an impact it does. So that's honestly what's probably going to separate you from climbing even higher if you're not already in Diamond or Masters already. Those decisions. So thank you for your submission. What rank is this? What kind of rank gameplay? Let us know. Or actually, let's have the chat guess. Oh, chat already guessed. Everybody says Diamond, right? Diamond 3400, 34. This is good Mercy gameplay. 32, 29. Nobody said Masters? Honestly, I would say 36. I would even say higher. Like, this Mercy gameplay, honestly, mechanically wise, looks better than mine. I'll be straight up honest with you. Bowie, I see you. Yeah, I'll join after. Someone said Masters, Diamond, Masters, Diamond. Okay. Nobody said Plat, and I agree. All right, what's your rank, Sylvald? Let us know. Did you say it? Yeah, you can say it now. 30-20. Wow. So this is like a high plat game, 3K. You've got the fundamentals down. Mechanically, way better than barely plat, barely diamond. Way better. I think if you played more and just picked the right people to play with, like pocket the right people and like affect those angles, like man, that's it. You're 3800 and your gameplay isn't this clean. Same, dude. My that's what I'm saying. This Mercy's way better than me mechanically. But that's where like literally that decision to like pocket this person versus the other person can be the complete game changer. But also probably maybe because you don't play as much rank too. You're probably not at that rank if you only play like 30 games in the season. If you played a lot, I'm sure you'd be way higher. But that was good. Thank you for submitting, Sylvald.